Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Real Business Roundtable. Today, we're going to talk about when to grow or sell your business. During the entrepreneurial journey, as you are working hard, putting in blood, sweat, and tears into that small business that you're trying to grow the best you can, you may get approached by certain entities that would like to purchase your business. Now, it's not always cocktails and sunshine sitting on an island like you like to think. Sometimes it is not exactly the best situation. Everybody dreams of, I'm going to sell my business, I'm going to retire. Well, a lot of these entities will come in when your sales are not maybe the best, or the growth strategy within your business is not being executed properly, and they know that. They're going to buy low. Look at my lips. They're going to buy low.
They're going to want to.
They're going to want to buy low. They're not your friend. They don't want to make you rich. They're going to buy low. They're going to do the things that you should have done that we talk until we're blue in the face on this show. They're going to implement that strategy that you were either too cheap, too lazy, didn't understand, whatever reason you didn't invest in growth, they're going to do it. They're going to blow up, and you're going to see like TV commercials, and then they go public, and you go, holy shit, what the hell did they do? They just took it to the max and ended up creating an IPO out of it. That's the extreme, but in certain situations,
a lot of businesses that are getting bought up right now are mostly like the service businesses, like plumbing, roofing, contracting, home improvement, and like that's kind of what we're gonna base our conversation off of, because those are very commonly getting bought out right now. And in order to do that, there's a lot of different things. I mean, there's different things like cash flow, making sure, EBITDA looks good at the end of the day, making sure you're not overstripping, capital. What?
You gotta let me finish. Let me finish my point. You jumped in right there. I was trying to be patient. Just give me a second before I lose my thoughts. There are roughly three entities that will knock on your door. A competitor. Say you're making a lot of noise, you're bringing in a lot of business. The competitor might roll in and say, hey, you're taking too much market share. Move aside, take your check, go. That may happen. We have seen that happen, and we'll get into those stories. The second entity that might happen is an individual. Someone wants to get into business, they really like your business, they want to buy an existing business, and they're going to get a bank loan and approach you and try to buy your business. And then there's the private equity guys that have a portfolio. They buy certain types of businesses, whether it be home improvement, restaurants, you name it. They're going to go in, and most likely, out of all three, they're going to try to come in real low. When they come in, you got to understand, you have the power to make the decision to grow that business and get more for that multiple that they're going to pay you. Think about this for a minute. If you just pony up and position your business to grow, max it the fuck out, and then you'll get the maximum amount from one of those three groups. Do not, and this is my opinion.
That's my opinion!
My opinion, to invest in your business, grow it to the maximum, then entertain those conversations, right? Because you're going to get way more money, you're going to be way more valuable because you're turning over a lot of cash. That makes you a lot more valuable to them, okay? And they're going to even scale you even bigger if they acquire you. So don't sell low. If your sales are not where they kind of want to be and they've been kind of hovering, plateaued, floundering, whatever, you don't have to sell at that point. You don't have to do that. You could actually say, wait a minute, I have something that's valuable. I should grow this business. Sometimes you have to put down the Budweiser. You have to just, you have to look in the mirror and reflect. And you might say, is the is the alcohol clouding my mind?
When it comes to when it comes to selling your business, there's a lot of different things at play. You know, these people or businesses or the private equity firms that are going to come in and buy have their system, or they should. 2 out of the 3 have a system.
Oh yeah.
Right. The PE firms, they come in, they strip the business, they bring the cost way down, they bring the cash flow way up. So you have to position your business to be doing that. Mm-hmm. The cash flow, the inflows of cash is going to be one of the most important thing. Managing the cash flow, making sure you're, like I said before, making sure you're not overstripping your capital, making sure, you know, you look like a healthy like a healthy business in their eyes. Now, a lot of people will say, with this growth comes a lot more overhead expenditure, which raises your outflows. Right? Outflows of capital, outflows of cash. That's why you got to create a system. And we're going to talk about another topic that this is very important in general when growing your business. Let's say you're at $3, $4, $5 to $7 million, right? From a very high level view, yeah, very successful business, great. But when you get into it and you look at the P&L, you look at the you know, the bank info, you look at the cash management, whatever it is, the that sort of stuff. That's what these people are looking at. Now, if you're 7 million, you can't expect to be selling for 3 to 5 times if you're a home improvement company, because your cash flow management might be trash. You might be bringing in, you know, 20, 30% margins on what you're making. You're doing pretty good. But at the end of the day, it's not, your business may not be cash positive, which I don't want to get into this right now. We can have a whole other conversation about it, but that's something that you really should look into. A successful business may not be as successful as you think it is if you're overstripping capital, and if it's just, you know, you're not seeing a lot of money coming in. There's not a lot of margin, even though you're doing the 7 to 10 million. That's what these companies are looking at. That's what these businesses are looking at. Now, as someone who's going in and buying something, they should already have this system of growth marketing, this system of money management. It's a robust system, people in place to grow this business. That's exactly what you have to do as a business owner with the goal to sell. A lot of this has to be very good marketing, right? It has to be very good marketing. That's not, you know, it's not too expensive. At the end of the day, you shouldn't be spending $900 on per, you know, acquisition. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. You got to bring that way down with the good marketing efforts. And that's just one piece of a whole robust system that you got to create in order to be attractive to someone to get bought out.
Yeah. So we actually have some real stories. So there was one time that we worked with a home improvement company, got their sales to the moon, you know, to the moon. They got bought out. Great. Congratulations. That wasn't the agenda. The agenda was just to maintain a certain level of sales ongoing, which we did. Then I get a call from this person's cousin. I didn't know it was his cousin. I didn't know yet. I just got a random invite to go to a business. And I'm sitting there on the guy's couch. And I'm looking at his nameplate on his desk, and I said, "Hey, you related to Johnny Lumpkins?" I'm making up the name. "Are you related to Johnny Lumpkins?" And he turns around in his chair and he goes, "That's why you're sitting there. I want to talk to you. I want you to help me get acquired in 5 years." I was like, oh, hey, you're a relative of Johnny Lumpkins. Yeah, I was working with him for 8 years. Took him to the fucking moon. We got going with, let's call him Max Lumpkins. We got going with Max Lumpkins, and in 4 years, unsolicited, he was approached by a competitor. Remember, that was one of the 3. Competitor, private buyer, or private equity. He got contacted by a competitor because he was taking too much market share. He was scooping a little too aggressively. He was affecting the bottom line of the competitor. So they need to acquire. We got it done in 4 years. Did a kick-ass job, gobbled up a bunch of clients, ruffled some feathers, and then boom, bought out. That's not always the goal of the client, but this was a specific request. It was a specific project. Hey, my sales are kind of, and I've been kind of, dragging my butt or whatever. I'm ready to get bought out. I want to retire. Okay. And there's several reasons why someone would sell. Sometimes, God forbid, it's an illness. They just can't do it anymore, or age. So they say they get in the 70s, 80s, and it's kind of they just want to hang it up and work. I mean, not work anymore, just maybe go fishing. I don't know. Everybody has their reason, but there's tons of reasons. Illness, age, golfing. You're just burnt out.
You want to eat some more ice cream.
Yeah. You want to eat ice cream. Ice cream's good.
Yeah.
Ice cream is good. Not when it melts.
No.
Not when it's
not in a cone.
When it's halfway.
When it melts in a cone.
Halfway melt is okay.
It gets all over your hands.
Medium melt. Medium melt.
Medium melt is all right on like a summer day.
Like you can still do this to it, almost like a flurry. Well, not a flurry. What's it? What? Blizzard. Yeah,
that's all right. That's all right. Like a medium softness.
Blizzard texture ice cream is the shit.
Oh, wow. Hard serve or soft serve? Soft serve is the perfect texture for hard serve.
I remember, I don't want to get off topic.
Sam just said this is a perfect just chatting. Let's talk about the texture and consistency of ice cream.
Let's get focused. Let's get focused.
Frozen milk.
Ladies and gentlemen, this hand movement is from the excessive amount of caffeine that I had to literally hand over to Yakub.
We gotta wait, you gotta do some jumping jacks, bro.
Dude, so just
just
so everybody knows at home. I have I had a can of Starbucks Nitro in my fridge. And I had Stoke coffee that I reused that Starbucks
And he likes
cup.
to mix. You know how when you mix alcohols, that's like a rule, and you get like hungover. He likes to mix caffeine, and I feel like it's not a good thing to do.
This is my outlet. To keep my body steady, I must do this. All right. Whew. All right.
Hey, cool question, man. I'm looking for the what?
All right. This was not my intention.
What were you talking about? Oh, retiring. When there's so many different reasons to retire. Someone might just want to sell and have some cash and open up a new business.
Remember that this was your blood, sweat, and tears. Don't lose touch with what it took to build that company. Remember, the company that you're going to sell, maybe, is your motherfucking fruit tree. This is your fruit tree. Why do I call it a fruit tree? Because this is where you get to suckle the nectar of life. This is the thing that you built that produces revenue. Revenue. What does revenue do? Revenue allows you to pay employees, grow, expand, invest in technology, invest in growth, and pay yourself. Oh my God. Listen. You get to pay yourself. So there is a downside to selling. Oh, I got acquired.
Whoa, wait.
Slow down. There is a downside because if you sell, listen to me slowly, my child. If you sell quickly at a low sales volume.
Yeah.
Whatever the multiple is.
Or with a bad system.
Not much of a payday, okay? And if you don't roll it into real estate, you're going to get taxed up inside, past the anus, up into the digestive system. You are going to get boom, bang, bing.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
It's over. Now you're stuck with 40. Now you have 40% less cash because you thought, oh my God, it's a big payday for me. Oh, I'm going to go to the strawberry garden. I'm going to do nothing for. You're going to get taxed. Taxes. Look at my mouth close. Look close. Taxes. think of that, taxes. So when you get an offer on your business, be like, listen, what's your name, sir? Wellington?
Sir Wellington?
Sir Wellington the Third. I'm sorry.
You created the beef Wellington.
Just show me some kind of blue blood person, like at some like in some like.
Okay, yeah.
like using like a quill pen, like listen, sir, what was it?
Arthur Wellington. Sir Arthur Wellington
Like,
III.
listen, Sir Arthur Wellington the Third, the Great. I know you want to buy my company, but I need to take into consideration the taxes. The taxes are going to be about 30 to 40%, so we need to offset that so I actually get paid what I actually think the company's worth, because some people don't think of that. Think about a couple things. If you're going to sell if you're going to sell your business, pay attention, put down the Budweiser. If you're going to sell your business, right? What are you going to do with the cash?
Wait. Before we get into that.
Hey, no, I'm getting into real fucking shit that people don't think about. What are you going to do with the cash? Stop.
You're skipping over such like quintessential things.
If you're going to sell your business, follow my fucking words. Follow my words. I did get feedback that the comedy on the show was enjoyed and appreciated, so I'm kind of turning it up a little bit. Hold on,
dude.
Hold on.
Okay.
If you interrupt me one more cock, just one more cock, this whole studio is getting ripped up. Wait until I finish my fucking thought. Now, when you are going to sell your business, the offer that is made, first think of taxes. Take that into consideration. Negotiate. Look at my lips. Negotiate.
Bro, wait. Please, dude.
Did you just interrupt me again? I swear to God.
He goes for 10 minutes and then says, don't interrupt me. Bro. Okay, just stay down there for a minute here. I'll help you.
The rest of the show, I'm down here.
Listen, before you get into negotiation and all that shit, taxes is important, of course, right? That's you get the money and then what you do with it, great. But before you do that, I understand that EBITDA is not the, some people don't like it, right? I get it. It's before depreciation. I get it. Look up what, I'm not going to get into it because it's boring. Look up what EBITDA means. If you are 20% or over, that is great, right? If you're less than that, it's okay. Kind of like, yeah, it's okay. Get above that. Cash flow, make sure you're managing the inflows and outflows of cash. Make sure that you look attractive when you're getting bought out. Because at the end of the day, you either get bought out for 3 times, 5 times, 7 times, whatever it is. They're gonna go way in the bottom of the barrel if you have a horrible system. Your EBITDA is not good. You don't look attractive. If you don't look attractive, you're not gonna get a lot out of it. If you look very attractive, you're gonna get a lot out of it, and that system is gonna be respected. Make the most out of it. Create a 5-year plan. If you say, I want to sell my business, let's create a 3 to 5 year plan. Let's make sure this system is fucking killer. It can be replicated. It makes the most revenue, the best margin. That's one of the most important aspects before selling a business. Don't go into negotiation, sign the NDAs, and then get an offer that you don't want to take. It's a waste of time. I don't know if they're going to come back to you or not. I don't know that. But if you know you want to do it, these businesses are getting bought out. They're getting bought out. It's not like they're not getting bought.
Can I please? I've been down here the whole time. Let me. Okay. All right. Okay. Now I can get back to.
Okay, sure.
My
Sure,
point.
let's talk about after getting bought out, the taxes. Let's talk about what to do with the money.
Well, prior to the deal being done, it's critical to have a plan in place.
That's what it
You have to know You have to.
That's what I just said. That's what I just went over.
I understand that, but I was trying to speak in a more direct way. Just hear me out.
Okay, hearing.
When you get the offer, you need to use you need to use these principles. Right. So if you get an offer to buy your company, you have to think of how many business partners do you have? Okay? When you get that check, how is it going to be divided, right? Your portion of the check for whatever the company is acquired for, what are you going to have to pay for taxes? I already said that. Second, what is your plan of action with that buyout amount? So your portion, everyone's not a solopreneur. They have business partners, they have investors, they have a board. That might get diluted to dog shit. Okay? So when you sell, you have to think of these things. So if you were to get your portion from that acquisition after taxes, what are you going to do with that to make your own fruit tree? So say your business was an apple tree. Well, now you need a lemon tree. You got to do something to make that capital produce yield, produce income. You don't sell a business and then just fucking run through it and live off of it like those crazy people that win the lottery. They just rip through it in like 2 years. Dude, take that and dump it into something that yields a dividend or some kind of interest. Something. Pop bottles in a couple of years. Don't do it now. Boom. Anyways, I don't want to go off topic. So think in your head. So if you got an investment that yields, say, 5%, some kind of Vanguard, whatever, and you put it in there, 5%. Now calculate the amount that you're getting from the sale of your business. Is the 5% after taxes? Taxes. After taxes, is that something that you can live a good life, quality life? Or are you going to be going, oh my God, I'm barely making it? Is that amount, the yield after taxes, enough for you to live the life that you would like to have for the rest of your life? You could either invest it, put it into an investment fund. If you got the connections in golf with the right people, or if your last name is Wellington III, then you get invited into these exclusive hedge funds. But you can also, what some people do is they start another business. So they let their capital sit in the investment fund and they take out a little bit to start a new company, a new venture. That's something that I would do because I want to keep my mind busy.
Well, I mean, always have a plan after, right? I would probably get into private equity. I mean, I would just start buying up businesses.
Yeah. So
as long
as you do something, what I'm trying to get at is think first before you take that check. Think about your plan afterwards, and if that check would facilitate what it is you're trying to do for quality of life, all that stuff. Think about that first. Because if you just invest in growth for a few years, maybe 2-3 years, and you 5x your company, now you are a lot more attractive. Now you're churning a lot more dollars. And when you get that multiple, it's going to be a much better situation for you, your family, and everything in general. So don't sell too quick. That's kind of the idea of today's show. And I hope you enjoyed.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Real Business Roundtable. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Like, subscribe, post notifications, turn them on. See you next time. Peace out.